What is up, everyone? It's your boy Gil here, and we have a lot to talk about. I'm super excited. If you frequent this channel, there's a pretty decent likelihood that you are a Tekken fan, a fighting game fan. And yesterday with the PlayStation State of Play live broadcast, live stream, our boys at Bandai Namco and Harada, they gave us a new Tekken trailer. And it's not just any kind of Tekken trailer you already know, it's a Tekken 8 trailer. We didn't know for sure if the next Tekken game was going to be Tekken 8. It was the most safe bet, but the last teaser we saw from Evo, they didn't confirm, but now they did. They're breaking the chain with the new logo and stuff, and I'm super excited, you know. Some people thought it was gonna be Tag 3, some people thought maybe Tekken Cross Street Fighter, rest in peace. I actually really want to play as Vega in a Tekken game, but that's neither here nor there. Some people on the butt hash thought it was a Tekken 1 remake. If that is you, I need to kindly ask you to find the nearest door, find the nearest exit, because I don't know, man. That was so silly thinking if you thought it was going to be a Tekken 1 remake. Anyways, we're not here to dogpile. What we are here to do, YouTube, is this isn't a reaction video. If you want to watch a reaction, I'm sure there's like a 10 million hype ones out there. There's Max, the main man, Sui, and Airs, of course. But what I want to do here is list off all of the things that we know for sure about Tekken 8 right now, just from footage that we saw today and from interviews and just like things that they wrote about the game, particularly what Harada has to say about the game. Then also I want to talk about things that are probably the case with Tekken 8. We likely need hard confirmation or just more footage, but things that are likely happening, as we can probably read in between the lines and see from the footage. And then also let's just talk about when we can expect Tekken 8. So either way, I am super excited. It's feels good to see Tekken just take this huge of a graphical leap again. I know graphics are not everything, gameplay needs to be there, but Tekken used to be the game that you would buy a new console for. You know, you would buy Tekken 3, you would buy a PS1 for Tekken 3, buy a PS2 for Tag or for Tekken 4, etc, etc. And Tekken 7, even when it came out to arcades in 2014 or to consoles in 2017, it already looked dated. So I'm just super excited to just see the next battle, the next level for Tekken graphics, and I'm excited to see with the jiggle what all the characters are going to look like. So yeah, let's get into that. And if I may ask you to like, subscribe, and comment on the video. All of that sort of stuff helps me tremendously, and unfortunately with the YouTube grind, I do need to ask you guys to do that. I make lots of cool videos, and if you do one of those things, you get a substantial luck buff, but if you do 2 or 3 of those things, you get a multiplicative luck buff. So thank you very much, and let's get into this, everyone. So let's first go over the things that were hard confirmed. Shortly after the trailer appeared on the State of Play live stream, Sony shared a little blog on their website written by Harada, in which we can read, although this was captured from the story mode, it is not a pre-rendered movie made for the trailer, but rather real-time rendered footage running at 60 FPS, similar to how you would experience the game in versus battle. It was already kinda apparent from the trailer that this is likely in-engine footage used for the story mode and kind of applies the same sort of ideas that the Tekken 7 story mode had, where it would go from seamless cinematic to gameplay and back and forth, and looks like they're just doubling down on that. So it's nice to see an actual confirmation that this is indeed in-engine, not some pre-rendered cinematic that they made. We also receive a confirmation in regards to what systems this game is going to release on. It looks like it's going to skip last gen. It's going to be just next gen, which is going to be PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and then also on PC, which is super exciting. And gameplay-wise, things that we can basically confirm from watching the trailer is that screws are back. You have that really sick counter hit, down forward 2 into perfect electric, and then electric, and then screw, I believe it's Kazuya's back 4, and then into the combo ender. It's very clear that Jin is getting screwed in the air, just like Tekken 7. Outside of that, it looks like the Tekken team is staying on the legacy course, where the characters maintain their iconic moves, their iconic strengths, Just in this trailer, you can see Kazuya's forward 4-3. You can see his counter hit down 4-2. Jin has his string 1-2-4. He has back 2-1, that string that Jin players like to end rounds with. It looks like many of the moves we will still be familiar with coming up in Tekken 8. So now we can talk more about the up in the air but reasonable guesses that we can infer from the footage and Tekken's history. What Tekken heads already noticed from this trailer is that a lot of moves have significant pushback on block. It also looks like they have a lot of block stun. This is obviously kind of hard to infer because it's the first time we've seen some type of gameplay from the game. It can be simply moves altered for story mode purposes. It's been a while since I've played the Tekken 7 story mode, but people tell me that their moves had actually different properties, different frame data than they had in the versus mode in Tekken 7, so if that's the case, it's probably reasonable to expect that that will continue in Tekken 8. Of course, this is a work in progress. Maybe this is how they want the moves to behave in versus battle, but of course this is a game in development and all of these things will definitely change, so it's hard to say where they'll land, but it is interesting to note the extreme and pretty cool looking pushback on a lot of these moves. In a similar vein in regards to gameplay, some people think that perhaps, maybe it's the hopium, that perhaps backdashing has improved in the game. Here's this footage from Tai. He's the NA Brian Savant, where Tai notices that Kazuya can backdash something that Kazuya or even Zafina couldn't backdash in Tekken 7.
He hella backdash. Wait, hold on. That was a backdash. He hit back. He hit back. Oh my god! He hit back. You have Zafina moving in this game. Hold on. I want to test something. Dude, Zafina is not even gonna backdash that. Dude!
Obviously, and also less exciting, this doesn't necessarily mean that backdash are going to be better, because of course for the reasons that this is a work in progress, but also maybe Jin's follow-up hook fist didn't reach simply because it has nerfed range rather than Kazuya's backdash being particularly better. It's hard to say, but it is something to look forward to, because I think a lot of people would like movement to get buffed across the board, which would be super exciting. And then homing moves are likely back in Tekken 8 as well. It's hard to 100% see the hit effect here in the footage because there's we're watching it from YouTube. Particle effects are going crazy, the rain is going crazy, but you can see from Kazuya's back 4 that it probably has that same visual effect that homing moves have, like with the white sparkles that homing moves have in Tekken 7. And this would probably make sense for Tekken 8 to maintain, because Tekken is a very iterative series. Homing moves have been present in some way or another for quite a long time. It would also make sense in a meta-knowledge sort of way if you know how well Tekken 7 sold commercially, how well it does in tournaments. It would make sense for the Tekken team to continue with the gameplay path that Tekken 7 has set up and make more minor adjustments rather than throwing out the baby with the bathwater and doing something extremely different. And then this is a biggie. Rage is likely coming back in some way or another. It's been present in Tekken since Tekken 6, which was released in arcades in November of 2007 and hasn't skipped a game since. It's also kind of the signature mechanic that Kazuya brings to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. He goes into Rage into that game. So it seems like it's something they're very keen on. And then of course from the footage, you can see that Kazuya bodies Jin here. And Jin lays on the ground for a while, signifying that he's probably on the ropes, he's at low health, Rage kicks in at low health, and then he steps up and the first thing he does is this huge, cool looking animation. There's a bit of a red glow around Jin, which can of course be a signifier of his devil powers, but also can be seen as a signifier of his rage. A lot of people are putting down money, and me including, that this will probably be his rage art. So yeah, I think it's going to come back. And then this is slightly more big brain. A lot of people, myself including, are postulating what's going to happen with Devil Jin, what's going to happen with Jin from this big animation, which may or may not be a rage art. It looks like Jin just engages in some devil powers and then turns it off on command, which might signify that Jin will either be able to transform in versus gameplay into Devil Jin, or just inherit some of Devil Jin's moves, something like that. And it might mean that we're not going to have Devil Jin as a separate character, but it's hard to say. The sky's the limit gameplay design-wise. They can really do anything with Jin or Devil Jin. But it is fun to maybe look forward to Jin having some more Devil Jin moves in some way or another. This is probably my extreme amount of hopium talking, but since the game is getting announced to be on the 3 main players, Nintendo Switch, Xbox Series X, PS5, and PC, perhaps we can anticipate crossplay. Crossplay is becoming more and more popular. Street Fighter V did it with PC and PlayStation. Killer Instinct did it before with Xbox and PC. And then it looks like KOF is going to get crossplay. Guilty Gear is getting crossplay. All Japanese games. So the Tekken team probably has a really good idea of how requested crossplay functionality is for many players, casuals and hardcore, and anyone including. And even if they just do their own critical thinking, they will probably realize that crossplay is an important thing to add, and if many of their competitors are doing it, they might not want to lag behind in that aspect. And then last and not least, you might want to timestamp this because I'm going to make a prediction. I believe Tekken 8 will be a 2023 game. Probably latter half, summer through December it will release. It seems that Tekken 8 has been in development for quite a while. Tekken 7, particularly since Season 4, seems like it's been in kind of a maintenance, skeleton crew sort of operation. Season 4 itself is going on for a long time. It didn't receive as much content as the other ones, just received 2 characters, Lidia, Kunimitsu, and 2 stages, as compared to like 4, 5, 6 characters that other seasons received. And why do I think it's going to be the latter half of 2023? Harada has been very candid in interviews over the years that he's learned from being in the industry for a while that particularly Japanese fighting games, it does not behoove any of them to release their games on top of one another. And here comes my second prediction. I believe Street Fighter 6 is going to be a February, March, or April, so early 2023 sort of fighting game. Their marketing seems very well put together, and with the pace at which they are revealing new characters and new information, it seems quite reasonable to me that they want to release it maybe around, probably after Capcom Cup, which is usually February or March, and maybe in time for the Japanese quarterly review. And it's probably reasonable to predict that the Bandai Namco people would want to steer clear from the juggernaut that's surely going to be Street Fighter 6. Thank you very much everyone for watching the video. Hopefully you learned something. I try to keep my predictions to reasonable predictions. If you think I missed something or if I'm way off base on something, let me know down below. And just know that I appreciate you having watched this, and hopefully I'll see you around for the next video. Take care.